Hi guys, a quick channel update. I've been making promises on this channel for a while now about videos, updates, content changes, and specific topics being covered in videos and essays. However, I must announce that this might not be possible for much longer. It's not because I have bitten off more than I can chew, that the YouTube algorithm is tanking the channel and making it harder for people to get involved, or even that I've changed my beliefs and no longer wish to be involved in something I no longer have faith in. No, it's something highly personal, it's an unexpected thing, and not something I would normally post on social media of any kind, least of all somewhere I try to remain professional and rational. However, it's going to change a lot of things, so it's best I keep people up to date about these things. That's why I'm happy to announce that me and my partner are expecting a baby this year. Yes, I know, no one's more surprised than I am, to be honest. Still trying to get myself out of the dad shock phase. In order to help myself sort this out, I sort of considered, do I know what my audience is expecting? Do I know what people will be wanting? And more importantly, do I understand them enough? And for this, I've drafted a handful of questions that I'm pretty sure some people will be asking. So let's see if I'm as receptive to my audience as I would like to think. As a Christian, should you be having a child out of wedlock? Strictly speaking, no one should be having a child out of wedlock, but I've been of the view that a committed relationship is what is truly required for raising a child. Marriage is merely the legal, official way to ensure the child has a stable life, or a stable home life at least, and therefore are provided for no matter what might happen. That's why divorce is going to be so nasty, particularly when involving children, because the child must be kept safe no matter what. If you think I'm attempting to retcon everything, I'd say just double check everything on my channel, look through the videos and ask yourself this, and I really don't. In fact, I'd say look at the 10-fold response. I did that a few years ago, which was questioning same-sex marriage, or looking at it through the lens of someone's arguments, which quite frankly were ridiculous. I'll show you a link in the description. Specifically, I was mentioning that their views on the foster children being so messed up wasn't because of different parenting roles, it was because the parents were being unreliable or inconsistent. The examples given were in the story of Tracy Beaker, a fantastic show that I've been watching for many years, and I'm glad to see is still going strong, or at least its spin-off shows. Me and my partner have discussed getting married before this baby made themselves known, and we are working to be ready for them to join us in our home when we finally have one of ourselves. This is really an acceleration of our relationship, but we're still committed to each other, and we are determined at some point to get married. Right now the kid is taking priority. How does this affect the channel? Babies, as any parent knows, take over in ways that can't always be prepared for. So whilst I'm intending to continue as best I can with daily shorts and weekly long forms, my schedule is going to be knocked for six in very short order. Since me and my partner need to find a place to live together, that'll work best for our jobs, and allows not to impose on friends and family when baby comes. House searching, moving, setting up house and preparing for baby will odds are cause some delay in video production, not to mention uploads. And of course, when baby gets here, it's not going to make things any easier for anything. And they will take priority over everything else. As I said in one of my last videos, YouTube isn't a career I'm interested in, so if it's going to be the first thing to fall by the wayside, I'm happy to let that happen. Why should we care? I'm not expecting a fan base to rise around my child, no matter what other content creators do. If you're not interested in another person's life affecting what you watch online, that's perfectly fine. I'm simply letting you know in advance of the inevitable drop in content being uploaded. That way, I can, if I'm able to return to regular videos at some point in the future, I can just get straight back on without any explanation, you know the drill, and just carry on as though nothing has happened. If you have any issues with that, that is your problem, not mine. Will you raise the child Christian? Of course we will. Our families are Christian, and they will be given a Christian upbringing, one that we recognise and know well. Their family will be very diverse in all manner of ways, both neurologically, gender identity, race and sexuality, both in the immediate family and those we bring into our village. They will have a good mix of people in their life, and we can find out, potentially, if there's anything to the thought that having any of those influences around them during their youth can affect their personal development in the future. We will teach them to understand everything with God in mind, but ultimately if they choose to be baptised and become Christian later in life, that is entirely their choice, and we will respect that. Will you see them as trash? Anyone who seriously thinks I should see my child as a pile of filth at birth, because of the doctrine of original sin, furthermore being conceived in sin as well, will unfortunately be getting re-educated under the threat of an axe. You know I have one. More than one. As far as I'm concerned, original sin isn't a sin we are born with, but an aspect of human behaviour that we must be very aware of in our own offspring. I know my child may eventually lie to me, disobey me, be a challenge later in life, potentially do something similar to what their uncles and father have done in our youths, and potentially start to think, no, I don't need any of this in my life, I don't want them in my life, and they might walk away. But I will still love them. I will guide them and help them through those situations if they allow me to do so in the best way I can. And certainly for as long as they will let me be involved in their later life. I can't emphasise this enough. A child needs to walk their own path. But don't you dare let them say that child is filth because of original sin. The doctrine is warped in that regard if you think that's what it means. When will they get their first weapon? They will get their first archery training from age 7 and their first dagger at age 12. But they will be given experiences of all of my passions, crafts and tools from the moment they can stand still and hold something without hitting anyone else. They have big cousins that will be of good influence on that. Will you be showing them in videos? I don't plan to do so, but you can never tell with babies, and I might end up doing a video whilst driving with them, or potentially feeding them during a recording. Maybe one day you'll see me sitting in a different room, different camera setup, with a little baby in my arms, doing my video whilst they are feeding. Or just napping, whatever happens to be the most effective. That'll make camera cuts a bit more interesting. I don't want to make them part of the channel, but odds are I'll end up raising them in topic as an example of things in life that allow me, as a parent, still a spooky thought to think about, to relate to God, or potentially one of the patriarchs, in some way. Ultimately, there's no way I'm planning on bringing them in to the channel, but neither did I plan to have a baby at this time, so God only knows what will happen there. Who knows, I may have a little one tugging at my sleeve at some point, asking to go to the park or asking to watch cartoons whilst I'm busy working. Or potentially Bluey. Who knows what things will be on when my little one is old enough to watch them. Did you consider abortion? I am pro-choice, which by definition means I listen to the views and beliefs of the mother, that being my partner. And whilst at the moment I didn't think we were ready for a child in the practical sense, after all we weren't living together at the time, and we weren't able to figure out our finances in that moment. And thus I considered abortion might be the best option. My partner is staunchly against it and threatened to run away rather than hurt the baby. I respect that, and so we have moved forward with our plans to be ready for the baby. I personally won't abandon a child, no matter what, and I wouldn't expect anyone else to raise my child. In a similar way, and I've said this before in a video, I would never raise another man's baby, unless they had renounced all claim to them. Then I would raise them as my own. It's complicated, and so I'm going to put that into a law for my fantasy series, as I really like that method of thinking about raising a child. But regardless, my partner and I will have this baby, and will be the best parents we possibly can be. I'm sure some people will be asking more things, and others will be like, I don't care. But that is the situation, and I'll be running with it as best I can. I'll try to manage the backlog of video essays already drafted and ready for recording. And so, if I vanish off the platform, due to being a dad, there will be an archive of videos that will, on the various topics that I feel needed to be addressed, and hopefully give you the resources in whatever journey you are taking regarding faith, theology, and the various factions of theistic debates. I'm not the authority on anything in this field, and I welcome people who wish to help out in many ways. As it is at the moment, all this has caused me to fall behind on my shorts. I need to get some done in the next few days if I'm to stay on schedule. My partner and I are hoping to move in with each other end of the next month, so I'm not sure how it's going to change my channel video output, but I've got some essays in development and ready to record, so I'm hoping I can ensure things keep going in the meantime. The important thing is, at the moment, we're okay, we're getting through each day the best we can, and we're looking forward to the joys, the challenges, the unexpectedness, and everything that really comes with parenthood, which is still quite a shock to us. All I ask of you is to continue to watch these videos, discuss them, learn from them, and share them where you think they are most needed. I'll keep going as best I can, but if I vanish from your screens for a period of time, or even for good, you know why. I'll be okay, and all I can say right now is thank you for your continued viewership. Stay safe, everyone, and God be with you always.